Boom. Okay, guys, today is Tuesday and we are off to the races. I currently have a bunch of stuff going down on the computers. I'm gonna see if I can flip this around so you guys can check it out. All right, so here's what I've got going on right now. We have a bunch of Claude code sessions running on this computer, a second one running over here. And the goal with this is, what's really interesting with Claude Code is you can start it at your desktop, and then when you know you're going to be headed out somewhere, do /remote-control. And what that actually does is it then allows you to control it from your phone. So what I have happening today is I got an email from a client with a bunch of different emails for their about team that weren't quite working when they went in and edited everything on their own. I'm about to head out the door, so I actually have this working on that. I have another one over here that had a client who just needs a few changes to a staging site, so we have that rolling as well. And then one of the cool things about that piece is I actually have it connected to Basecamp, so it can read everything in Basecamp, see and analyze the screenshots that were added, and then make that update. Then lastly, we have another client that was like, hey, everything looks great. We're ready to publish the site. So had that going on as well here in the office, getting all of my gear together because we actually have to get this sucker over to the bow shop because we are getting a brand new bow today, the ARC Mathews 34. The goal for this thing is to put all of my current stuff onto that bow so that way I'm able to go out and elk hunt next month. So a lot going on. It's the life of an entrepreneur. We have so much we need to catch up on and talk about. So I'm really excited about all of that. But I also want to make sure that just in general, you understand there are levels to this, right? You don't just go on ChatGPT or Claude AI and just start chatting. I mean, you can, but there's levels to this. We have things that are set up on this machine, this device in a certain way. And I even use another product called Tailscale. And Tailscale allows me to then port, if I take my laptop somewhere, to port into this computer and run anything on it while on the go, like at a coffee shop. So this is kind of the setup that I'm using. It allows me to be really productive, handle a lot of things at once, make sure everything's going to look exactly like I want to because everything is trained, and also go to the bow shop and get a new bow. So that's my ultimate goal. I don't want to be slammed here at the desk 24/7. I want to be able to walk away, do some of the things I want to do, meet with people that I want to meet with, and just be an encourager, be somebody that's helping to train and help others, and also invest in what I'm building ultimately, which is helping purpose-driven men launch their ideas into brands. And if I can do that, I want to help them install AI, help them run ads with it, and help them understand how to create the content, how to get the clickbait kind of but true content that's going to help them grow that brand. So that's kind of my life's mission at this point. Really excited to be doing that, jumping into a lot of different projects, but thought this would be interesting for you guys. It's early-ish on a Tuesday, in other words, before lunch, about to head out, and yeah, we'll chat soon. Okay, so, whoa. Dude, this is a little close. We have a 15-year-old who is in the process of getting his driver's license. So that's been really interesting. Let's go take care of this bow stuff. For those of you that are interested, I use this release, but I am thinking of swapping to what is called a thumb release. And that one was made, the release that I currently have was made really popular by Cameron Haynes, big bow hunter, also does the Instagram life these days. And yeah, I just really grew to love hunting, watching a lot of his videos. He's very performance driven in the sense of not trying to outshine people, but trying to, you know, just encourage people to keep hammering. And he would have shirts that would say like, must be nice, because people would always say, oh, must be nice to do all these elk hunts. And he's like, I literally work as hard as I can just so I can go hunting. And I feel like that a lot of times, where I work so hard just so I can go hunting, and take my family on vacations and all kinds of stuff. So don't get discouraged just because the season you're in, other people aren't excited about that season for you, right? You've got to make sure that you're always kind of paying attention to what it is that you want to do. And when you understand what it is that you want to do, then you can build your life around that. And so if you're married, you should be obviously, building that with your spouse, your kids. Today we're going to Ross Outdoors, and we're going to pick up this bow. I just called them. They said, hey, we're going to get it ready for you. Left-handed 28-inch draw with a 65-pound setup. Really excited. My goal is to get it from there, go to Shields, have all my other stuff done because they're a little bit closer. This is on the whole other side of Phoenix pretty much. So anyway, headed down now. Let's get this day rolling. Oh, and meanwhile, I got to call my buddy Sean. We're going to be talking about some things related to a new coaching business platform that we've started. Probably call my buddy Randy because we have a spray drone company we've been working on. And finally, just when I get to a stop sign or stoplight, I will check in on the code sessions that I have running while I'm out. So love to see multitasking like this. Super stoked. Let's go get this day. Okay guys, bow is secured. Let me show this thing to you real quick so you can check it out. Step back here, and basically this is the Mathews ARC 34. I don't know if you can read that there, but ARC 34. And I'm super stoked about this bow. Got the good guys over at Ross Outdoors Archery to hook me up, and now it is time to go get it all set up at the store that I want to get it set up as. Sorry, Ross, you guys are just way too far away from my end of town. So I'm going to go over to Shields, have everything set up. Those guys told me they do it for free because they didn't have the bow I wanted in stock the other day. And then from there, it's going to be lift, run, shoot every single day. That's a phrase that Cam Haynes came up with, and I love the concept of it. You lift so you can get stronger, you run so you can keep those pounds off, and you shoot, and I'm planning to do that twice a day so you can actually walk out and know that you're going to be confident and put the arrow on the elk when you're under pressure. And the pressure comes from the second you hear these suckers screaming, calling, coming into your calls, whatever you do to get on an elk, if it's spot and stalk, doesn't matter. But when you get close, the heart rate elevates, the adrenaline pumps through, and man, there's just nothing like it. But the cool thing is, at the end of the day, if you are trained and you're prepped and you're ready, then you're going to be able to make that shot. And so far, I've been able to make that shot on a javelina, have missed that shot on multiple deer, and I made a bad shot on an elk once. Probably, might have injured that one a little bit and tracked for 4 hours, couldn't find them. And that's part of hunting. You don't always know what's going to happen in those final seconds. And that was my first ever elk hunt. So 7 years later, the journey's on. We're trying to make this a successful hunt. And so over a month out, getting prepped, got my new bow, got the strings, got the poundage. We're sitting there at a 28-inch draw, 65 pounds. Got everything else that I need. Now it's time to go and start putting in the practice and the effort to make this whole thing a successful hunt. All right, off to Shields we go. What up, guys? All right, we have made it to Shields. We are going to go inside. Can't take the camera in and do the recording on this one. But the goal is to get the bow taken care of. If you can see back there, I've actually got my old bow with me. We're going to swap everything from that bow over to the new bow, make sure it's all dialed in as good as we can. I might go for that thumb release that I've been talking about. for a little bit. I'm going to see if I can, maybe shoot a couple arrows with it inside, get all my stuff straightened out, put together, and then we'll be done with this little excursion. So wish I could take this in. They'd probably let me, but it's just I have to carry both bows in, and I just won't have enough hands for everything. So anyway, the next time you see me, hopefully everything's done, it's ready, and then we're headed back to the office, get on the grind, wrap up this day with a few projects I've been working on. And one of the projects, while I'm thinking about it real quick, is this, and I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet, but I built a community called Soulfire, and Soulfire is all about helping men to live lives where they're learning how to love God, lead their family, and build their business, right? And I felt like the initial thought behind it was really good, and I've gotten some great comments, feedback, and so I do agree it is good, but I feel like there's a lot of men that just enjoy consuming, and they're not taking that next step that they're telling me they need to take. And so what I'm trying to do now is figure out, okay, what can I do to help motivate them over that piece? And so I built out, and originally I called it, soulheart.ai. Might change it to soulfire.ai. I'm not really 110% what I'm going to do on that piece. But what it is I want to help men that are dealing with this like failure to launch, or maybe they've already launched something and it failed, or they just didn't stick with it because it was just too hard. And I want to help them launch their brand. So my concept is I will help launch your idea into a brand. Then I'm going to help you install AI. And then with that AI, we're going to run ads. Because most people are like, oh, I don't know what to do. Well, you got to run ads. That's the only way. Nobody knows who you are yet. Organic social media takes a really long time. And so what can you do? Well, you can run ads, and that will handle a lot of it, right? So the real problem is most people don't want to spend the money to run ads, because you will lose money. You will always lose money in the beginning when you're just starting out. Even myself included. It's hard. You will spend money, and you're just giving the money away to Mark Zuckerberg largely, because we run a lot of meta ads. And the reality is, though, if nobody knows who you are, they'll never buy the thing that you build, or never buy the service that you have. So first, we need them to know who we are, and then we need to make sure that when they come there, it's really clear and they understand who we are, how we got there, what we do. And if they don't, then it's going to be really difficult in the long run. So we want to avoid all of that, right? And that's one of the big challenges most people have. Well, I have had the privilege since starting up my company, Soul Heart, over 13 years ago at this point, started up this company, and I've helped over 100 brands launch. Like, I didn't even realize this, but I actually had AI document all of my folders and just emails, just everything that I'd done, projects, all of it, and give me a list. I went through, I verified it all, and over 100 brands we have now helped launch, represents well over $1 billion of revenue. And most of those brands got their revenue from organic, word of mouth, where they'd send people to their website, because that's what we do, is build websites. And then the paid ads, and we've run millions of dollars of paid, well, I think it's like $2 million verified of paid ads, and that generated all kinds of revenue. Nonprofits generated donations. We had one ad last year, spent $100, or no, it was $50, and we raised $10,000 off of it. Even out of church this year, ran $150 of this ad campaign, and it reached 13,000 people in their local community and filled every seat on a Sunday. So that was really amazing. And it is the differentiator. But most people, like I said, they're too scared. They don't want to jump in. They don't want to do it. And the reality is, you're sitting on your idea being massively successful because you're too scared to spend the money. And I would actually say invest the money in advertising. And it doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to dance across the screen to get attention. You just need to do things, and you need to create content, and you need to build it. So if you're out there and you're watching any of this, you got to this point, you're just like, what is all of it?
Well, it is kind of the day of the life of an entrepreneur. He's going out, building his business, automating as much as he can, and living his life and doing a bunch of things. But it's also because I want you to be successful. And if you have hopes and ideas and dreams, I don't want you to have 1,000 ideas and never act on any. I want you to choose one and act on it. And I want you to do it. I want you to build it. I want you to grow it. And the best way I know how is to build a great website around a great brand. When I say brand, I'm meaning visual. I've designed a lot of logos, so that's kind of one of the fortes that I have. Then I want you to install AI into the ecosystem. And then ultimately, I want you to launch ads and drive traffic to your thing and learn how to get leads or sales or both. Honestly, leads should lead to sales, and learn your numbers, learn your cost of acquisition per customer, learn your lifetime value per customer or your lifetime gross profit. There's all these different things. And most of what I do is I read a lot and I listen to a lot of different podcasts or YouTube videos. And I just find the guys that are doing it the best. Like Alex Ramosi, he wrote $100 million offers, $100 million leads, $100 million money models, which I would just call sales, ladder essentially. And you find one of those and you pick one that you want to follow. And for years I was paralyzed in business because I loved EOS, this entrepreneur operating system. I loved Donna Miller's flight plan. I loved, Six Sigma. I loved Entree leadership, and I never could combine it all together to do my thing. And I realized oh wait, these days there are tools that will allow me to combine everything together, choose the parts that I like of each one and do my own thing. And I built the Soulfire operating system for that. Just like I took all the data from our ads and I built an entire what worked, what didn't, full training. And now I can run an ad that goes through my own system and it works because it's fully trained and vetted on, a couple $1 million of ad campaigns plus what's currently trending in the marketplace. So I just want to encourage you that you can just do things. You can just begin something. You can take an idea and execute on it. You can take it all the way through to completion. You just have to believe in yourself. You have to go for it. You have to surround yourself with the right people, training, partners, coaches, you name it. You can find those people that will give you the right encouragement, not just be Debbie Downers all the time, and help you launch the thing. So that was a little sidebar. We're going to go in here, get this bow up to speed with exactly how I want it. And yeah, the next time you see me, hopefully I have that down and we'll be bouncing to the next thing on the list today. Hey guys, what's going on? I am back here at the house, got the bow and everything structured, and the family actually helped clean up the office. So this guy helped a little bit, possibly, maybe, not quite sure, but so far looks like I got a bunch of material here, but the bow is right there. Feels good in the hand, as I was saying earlier. And I'll show you guys this real quick so you can see. There it is. All of it's dialed in, looking real nice. One of the things I did was I actually added the whisker biscuit. A lot of people don't like them. They've changed, but for me, it is nice to be back. Got the React pin sights going on here, and then also got some feet, little legs on the bow, and then this brand new Mathews, they have this little stabilizer that's angled at 7 degrees, I believe. So really excited. Feels light in the hand, shoots great. Also looks great in this office, gotta say. So anyway, that's the update so far. Thanks to Clay for all of his support. He's actually going to be our caller this season. You excited about being the caller with me?
Yep.
Think we're going to be able to call in a nice big elk and I'll get a shot?
Probably the first day.
First day. Ooh, okay. Have you been practicing your calls? That's the real question.
No. Not yet.
I don't know how my confidence level is with this guy, but regardless, super excited for this purchase. Like I said, back here in the office, time to get to work. Shout out to Mathews Archery for everything they got going. They gave us some stickers. I'm gonna have to put those on the safe. If you haven't seen the safe, got a lot of stickers going on. Mossberg, Nine Line, Mountain Ops, and Yee Apparel, which if you haven't seen those guys on YouTube, check them out. We are back here in the office. Been working on a new proposal process. Had to take a few breaks. You can tell it's actually dark out now. Lights are working great, let me tell you, but ended up having to take my daughter to her youth group at church so she could hang out with some of her friends. Then I came back and we ended up got to eat a bunch of elk steak today, so that was super fun. And then now I'm hanging out here in the office for a little bit to get done what I needed to get done today, but a 5-hour archery excursion kind of got in the way of that. So here we are, still working on it. I'm actually going to swing this around so you guys can check it out, and I think it will work. Let's see. Okay, cool. So this is actually what I'm working through, and you can see I've got, a few things going on here. So let me maximize this so you can actually see it. This is a proposal that I've been working on for a specific client up the road. You can probably, if you dig deep enough, you can see all of that. But the thing I wanted to show you is over here on the side. So if I pull this over, you can actually see this is my process for making updates to a website. Now, this is Lovable. Those of you that don't use Lovable, you're going to hear a lot more about it when you work with me or talk to me about anything. And there's a lot of things going on with Lovable that are really, really great. And then some things that you just have to learn to deal with. Now, this is a typical proposal for me. I've made it into websites, and then there's just all kinds of stuff that we want, people to know and get very familiar with and all that kind of thing. So numbers are here, kind of like what we do, all that kind of stuff is here. And what I just want to tell you about it is this process is the future, where you're going to be able to think of an idea, think of how you want it set up. You're going to be able to speak into a phone or something, and it just gets done for you and it builds it out. And for me, little camera issues, but anyway, for me, the fastest way to get these proposals out is actually to build a website. It's been what I've done for a number of years, and I just really think that it's the future. You can make it mobile friendly, so it works for everybody. People could print it out. Like, a lot of people just aren't printing things anymore. If they do need to print it out, you can very easily say, turn this into a PDF, or better yet, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll put like a download, button, like a PDF button at the very bottom so someone could download it and then have everything. And you just have to recreate that every time you make a change. So it gets a little annoying. But I just want to say that the future of work is here. And I think there's just a lot of things that people are going through right now trying to figure it out. And the reality is you can figure it out. You do have the ability. You just might need some help. That's it. And if you get surrounded by people, I'm not saying myself, but I have been in this industry doing this thing on my own for 13 years. I worked in the nonprofit space for about 10 years before that. So I've got a few things to say at this point. Actually, I think it was more than 10 years at this point. Let's see. So 24 years. That's how long I have been serving in churches or nonprofits or running a business. So basically that entire span, 24 years, that's crazy. That's over 2 decades. So 2 decades of experience now. And not only that, like, it has led to some different things. Like, I've got awards all around the place on the desk. A couple of them have been moved, so they were here. But, I've got awards for people that recognize the work. And frankly, we've just done so many brand launches, so many things that have helped companies grow millions and millions of dollars. And I can rest in the confidence of that. For the rest of you, you just sometimes need to rest in the confidence that you've helped someone else grow probably millions and millions of dollars, or you've done work for them, or you've done things that help them get better and improve and do business in the marketplace. Or maybe you're simply just getting started and you've got a bunch of ideas and you just need to act on some of those, execute on one, pick one idea, go forth and go do it. Like, that's how this entire thing got started. Like, I am in this office today, and you can see behind me, that is the company that I founded, Soulfire. I think it's
easy to see for you guys. But basically, founded it from the corner of the bedroom, north of Nashville, Tennessee, after I'd spent about 6.5 years working at that, like at a nonprofit. It was a $100 million nonprofit, and 5 years working in churches before that. So, I put in my decade. And during that time, I learned a lot. I just soaked it in. I took it in. And then at some point, I heard a sermon that said, to step towards your destiny, you may have to step away from your security. And so I did. I listened to it. I stepped out, and $80 Target desk and chair combo set, brand new. It wasn't a new computer. I was just working on a computer that I had at first until I got my very first paycheck. And then I bought a new computer. And made it happen. So sometimes you just have to, a friend of mine used to always say, like, make your own luck. Sometimes you just got to do it. Sometimes you got to get out there and think about what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're passionate about, and just do it. You can probably tell, like, I'm passionate about America, passionate about hunting. It was my very first deer on the wall back there. Passionate about content production, creativity. I've got some, podcasty things going on. Got a safe over here. Don't go over to that safe. Let me tell you, there might be a couple things in there. Got some, animal skins on the wall, things of that nature. I don't know if you guys can see over there, but we've got a lot of, fun stuff going on there. I think that helps it with the light. So you can see every one of those animals, except for the coyote pelt, was either killed or found out in the wild here. And I got my badger right over there. And so there's some things that I'm passionate about. And the reality is there's things you're passionate about. And you just need to do it. You need to step out. You need to stop thinking about it. And you just need to do it. I created a phrase a long time ago that said, stop chasing your dreams and start building them. And I decided to follow that. In 2013, that was me. I was just chasing, thinking, oh man, is this ever going to work? And finally, I did it. And that was the differentiator. So just want to encourage you guys on that. Thanks for following around with me today. This has been super fun. Hopefully you guys like it. I'm going to be trying to create all kinds of content because I want to get more of what I have to say out into the world. I've just been trying to figure out the right format to do it. So you probably read some stuff of mine. You've probably seen some stuff. Maybe you even watched some of the videos I created for my Soulfire group. But the reality is I just want to help inspire people that life does not have to stay in stuck mode, that you don't have to live with failure to launch mode. Like, you can do things. You can take an idea and launch a brand, or you can set a goal to go hunting and do it. You can take a day off or remove yourself from the day-to-day grind if you're a business owner, even easier, right? But like, you can let go, walk in the freedom of the peace that only Christ himself can provide. And I just want to say that real quick too. If you're out there and you're just like, yeah, but I just have inner turmoil, I don't have anything put together, like so much of this is just like head spinning. Well, the Bible actually has answers to a lot of this. Like, the reason I'm able to walk in confidence today is because of what Christ did for me. And it has not only transformed and changed my life, but it's given me a guidance both through prayer and the word. The Bible actually talks about this, they go together. But I pray to God. So that's communication. It's both ways. Like, you pray one way, you listen the other. And then you read his word, and through his word, he will give you the very things that you need to hear. Like, some of you just stop knocking, stop seeking. Well, he says, knock and the door will be open to you, seek and you will find. Very clearly, you will find. It's not a, you might find. No, you will find. But you just have to seek. You have to knock. You have to never give up. There's verses that talk about standing firm, acting like men, like, so many things that talk about compassion and joy, and all of the fruits of the Holy Spirit are listed out as love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And if you have all those things and you exhibit the very character and nature of God, and it can only be done through his power and his love that he has for you. So I just want to encourage you, if you haven't even started there, well, maybe back up, start there. Because I just don't believe you're going to be blessed in what you do if you don't start it with the foundation of loving God and loving others, and understanding what he did for you. So I would just encourage you guys, start there if you haven't. If you have, great news. Everything from that point on is blessed. doesn't mean the bank account is $1 million, but it does mean that your life is blessed. You have favor from God. Sometimes you might go through a season where it doesn't feel like it, and that's okay. It's a season. He allows seasons to happen. Bible actually says the rain falls on the just and the unjust. So even people that don't know the Lord have favor at times. But the reality is you're secure, and you need to walk in the confidence and the surety that you already have deep in your heart, knowing that every single day you wake up is a blessing from God. Everything that you set your mind to is something that He has brought and gifted to you. And anytime that you don't listen to the still small voice inside that's saying, do the thing, launch out, create the idea, then maybe you're actually being disobedient to the very calling that He has in your life. So just a little bit of encouragement. Thank you guys for watching this far. It's been an awesome treat. More to come. This is Josh Brown signing off.